Hello again. This is me. I am on my way to work, and I work on the Las Vegas Strip, and I work in a theater. And I just thought to bring something that is very important. Through the years, what have been going through, what human beings have been going through. The second coming of Christ should have been fulfilled long time ago in the lives of human beings on earth. But because the meaning of church has been distorted through the years, and I can understand that because Jesus himself did not write anything, put anything on paper in writing or engraved on a stone, so that human beings would do it the right way. I can understand that. His time was very short on earth. He has to fulfill his mission, especially that he had to die to fulfill the redemption of sin through a sacrifice. And that doesn't last for long years. It has to go very fast. But to put everything in writing so that human beings would get everything to do it the right way, Jesus has to pass on his ministry, his teachings to a few people and wait for the second coming of Christ, for Christ to come and put everything clear on a paper and explain everything. What is the goal? What is the purpose of his teachings and ministry of Christ? It is not a requirement for human beings to be affiliated, to have a denomination, to be membership, to be forced to become in a kind of system that to become a Christian and to be form part of some kind of system in order to inherit the second coming of Christ or even eternal life. Not at all. There is nowhere in the first Christian writings that church means building, a concrete building or a building made of wood or of straw or of bricks, any kind of raw material. The meaning of church since the early Christian writing is to be church. It is the self, you being, your life, your soul, your being that needs to be church. There is nowhere in the first Christian writings that it is a requirement to go to church, but it is to be church. In the teachings of Jesus Christ to Peter, the statements, the declaration that Jesus made to establish church is to start with Peter. It was not a requirement to build concrete buildings or raw materials buildings, and that's going to be called church. This is the reason why the second coming of Christ was never fulfilled in the lives of human beings for more than 2,000 years. Because all this time, church was a building. So as from the second coming of Christ, and me who fulfill the second coming of Christ, I claim that Christ, I claim church to be Christ. I claim human beings to be church. Jesus himself had to give up in the temple. He had to step out of the temple to start his ministry off the street. He has to get out of a system. In the Gospel of Matthew, Jesus entered in the temple and was turning off the tables, chairs, He did claim that he will rebuild this temple in 3 days. Do you know what that means? It means the being, the soul, the life of people. Church means what I had to go through myself to be church, to fulfill this second coming of Christ. I had to leave my home country, my birth country, my family, my home over there. I have to travel. I came on the east coast of the United States and further all the way to the complete west of the world, and to fulfill this in the desert. So don't tell me that it is a requirement to have a denomination, to be affiliated with some kinds of building, become members. If not, they're going to go to hell and they're not Christian. None of my disciples is going to be like this. I say it again. None of my disciples is going to have church to be buildings, and it's going to exclude everybody who do not form part of membership of his buildings, to be called devil, to be called non-Christian. That is not going to happen under my covenant. I continue. Jesus passed on his ministry, and it continues the ministry. I hope I made it clear that the second coming of Christ, you can only reap the second coming of Christ, earn it and receive it by being church. Thank you.